Could one animated joke really torch a billion-dollar princess, drag Disney into a courtroom cage fight, and make Wall Street flinch? Stay with me, because the ripple effects from a single South Park rumor are still spreading across TikTok feeds, studio boardrooms, and the very edge of free speech law. Rachel Zegler looked like Disney's chosen heir when the studio handed her the apple, Snow White's apple. The casting was celebrated as historic, yet backlash ignited before a frame was shot. Critics blasted the $270 million remake for replacing the classic love story with what Zegler called a leadership journey, and she famously jabbed that the prince in the 1937 original was a stalker. Once the teaser dropped, the internet split in two. One side applauded a fresh take, the other accused Disney of swapping nostalgia for corporate activism. The noise grew louder when reports projected the film might claw back only half its budget, even after global marketing spend. When opening weekend receipts stumbled at $43 million domestic, a franchise low, hashtags like Cheese Snowflop trended for days. But a bigger storm was forming hundreds of miles away, inside South Park's writer's room. And that's where the spark met the tinder. Trey Parker and Matt Stone had just come off 2023's special Joining the Panderverse, which gleefully skewered Disney's obsession with pandering and left fans begging for a sequel. In late 2024, Stone casually told Bloomberg a feature-length South Park event was penciled for early 2025. Blogs instantly dubbed it the DEI Special, a title never confirmed but juicy enough to light comment sections on fire. Fan subreddits pounced on every sliver of information, cross-posting leaked storyboard claims, Bob Iger caricatures, and a rumored Disney stock ticker gag. One Reddit thread warned newcomers, "Clickbait channels will swear Rachel Zegler is suing. Don't fall for it." Their prophecy came true within weeks, and the clickbait headline that followed would turn rumor into rocket fuel. On a random Tuesday, dozens of YouTube channels uploaded videos titled "Rachel Zegler Sues South Park for $100 million." Clips featured AI-voiced narrators, swirling court docs graphics, and zero evidence. TikTok stitched the rumor at warp speed, amassing millions of views under the hashtag Team Rachel and the hashtag Team South Park tags. Entertainment reporters hunted for filings on PACER. None existed. Trade press veterans dismissed it as another Eric Artman scam, a reference to an infamous hoaxer who once faked Disney legal docs. Still, the rumor refused to die. Why? Because the idea felt plausible. Zegler's detractors wanted the lawsuit to be real, proof she couldn't take a joke. Her supporters wanted it too, evidence she was fighting back. Overnight, perception eclipsed reality. The Phantom case still trends every time South Park pops up in the news. But could a parody lawsuit ever succeed, even if it were real? 37 years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court weighed a Hustler cartoon depicting a preacher in a compromising tequila commercial and ruled the satire was protected speech, Hustler versus Falwell. The decision raised the legal bar so high that public figures must prove actual malice to win defamation claims over parody. South Park has danced on that razor's edge before, surviving threats from Scientology, fed-up celebrities, even a dark web Santa. Each time, lawyers pointed to Falwell and walked away laughing. Any genuine Zegler suit would run smack into the same precedent. Legal analysts interviewed by Variety and echoed on law blogs note the practical hurdle. A plaintiff would have to show viewers thought the animated skit was presenting facts. In a world of talking towels and singing poo, that's a tall order. Yet Disney's counsel reportedly told executives a trial, win or lose, could open the studio's internal emails, casting memos, and test screen notes to public scrutiny. Disney had bigger concerns than court costs, and that leads us to the threat Disney truly fears: discovery. Imagine subpoenaed documents proving studio brass expected the remake to underperform, or early drafts revealing frantic rewrites last summer after test audiences squirmed at feminist monologues. Those files could leak, spooking investors already uneasy with a 17% drop in Disney's 2025 stock price. Barron's notes that the studio segment bled cash after several misfires, including the unsuccessful $300 million live-action Snow White. The board is bracing for activist shareholders to pounce. A high-profile defamation trial, even a frivolous one, might drag Disney execs onto the witness stand under oath. Internal dirty laundry could spill faster than a Sorcerer's Apprentice bucket brigade. For PR teams, that scenario is worse than a box office dud. While Hollywood braced for leaks, the internet staged its own trial. No subpoenas required. TikTok edits painted Zegler as Kathleen Kennedy's understudy, slicing her interviews into eye-roll loops. Meme pages crowned South Park the last refuge of free speech, overlaying Kenny's muffled lines with "defend comedy." The top 5 reaction videos labeled Zegler v. South Park racked up 30 million views in 2 weeks. Social Blade metrics, April 2025. Late-night hosts split along predictable lines. One joked, "If Disney sues South Park, Matt Stone will just pay the damages with Kenny's life insurance money." Another quipped, "Snow White is so modern now, the dwarfs are played by lawyers." Amid the noise, a quieter conversation surfaced. How does nonstop outrage warp careers? Studios reportedly hit pause on casting Zegler for 2 upcoming musicals, waiting for the dust to settle. Her agents pivoted to indie producers hunting Sundance buzz. The rumor alone, true or false, already had economic consequences. And as one career felt the squeeze, Parker and Stone were plotting their next big leap. Sources close to Paramount confirmed Parker and Stone's live-action comedy co-produced with Kendrick Lamar will hit theaters in March 2026. The pair are also contracted for more South Park seasons and at least one movie-length streaming event in 2025. In other words, controversy hasn't slowed their hustle. It's gasoline. Zegler, meanwhile, is rumored to headline an R-rated music drama called Falling Apple, financed by A24-style investors. If it lands, critics might finally judge her outside a fairy tale tiara. But industry insiders whisper that any new role will come with carefully negotiated interview guidelines. No spontaneous TikToks, no flippant remarks about stalker princes. Both arcs show how internet spectacles redraw career paths. South Park thrives on heat. Traditional Disney stars can fry in it. Which brings us to the bigger question: where does satire go from here? The streaming war has already shoved South Park into court once. Warner Bros. Discovery is suing Paramount over a $500 million exclusivity tangle, and a New York judge just ruled the case will proceed to trial. That clash proves content disagreements can cost hundreds of millions before a single joke airs. Analysts predict studios will deploy sensitivity vetting bots across scripts, hoping to dodge lawsuits before they bloom. Yet, Parker and Stone warn that declawed satire dies. Audiences can smell fear. Creators now face a choose-your-own-adventure. Sharpen the blade and risk litigation, or file it down and risk irrelevance. The Zegler South Park saga, real or imagined, could nudge the industry toward clarity. Courts might soon decide whether hyperbolic parody in the meme era deserves the same robust shield Falwell granted an old-school magazine. Which leads us back to the joke that started it all. Rachel Zegler's Snow White backlash proved that nostalgia mixed with politics is nitroglycerin. South Park's rumor mill lawsuit reminded us that perception often beats reality in the attention economy. And Disney's skittish board underscores how fragile billion-dollar brands can look when memes move faster than press releases. So, could a single animated barb really bury a princess, bankrupt a studio, and rewrite U.S. free speech law? Not today. But the uproar exposed a new truth. In 2025, the Court of Public Opinion starts its sessions on TikTok, and the verdict can cost more than any legal judgment. Now I'm throwing the apple to you. Is parody priceless, or has the punchline finally crossed a line? Drop your take below, and don't forget to smash, no, obliterate that subscribe button if you want more untold showdowns from Hollywood's wild side.